Hello, kids! It's Teacher Clevie once again, and always reminding you all with our class principle. I love math because math is fun. I will share to you this very amazing quote. Mathematics may not teach us how to add love or minus hate, but it gives us every reason to hope that every problem has a solution. Children, not only in our math problems be this quote applicable, even in our real life problems. So kids, always think ahead that every problem has a solution. So with that, our lesson is solving routine and non-routine problems involving addition and or subtraction of fractions. The purpose of learning math is to become effective in dealing with real life encounters that involve numbers, particularly that today's life is governed largely by it. Your mathematical skills should not just end in paper and pen, but also into how this can be applied to your advantage. Previously, you have addition and subtraction of fractions in lessons 1 and 2, respectively. This time, you will be applying this in solving routine and non-routine problems. So in this lesson, the learners are expected to explains the steps on how to solve routine and non-routine problems, solves routine and non-routine problems involving addition and or subtraction of fractions using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools, and displays creativity approach in solving word problem. Before you start, check yourself if you already have these skills from the past lessons. Can you add and or subtract fractions in similar, dissimilar, and mixed form? Do you understand what fractions represent? Can you visualize fractions correctly? If you answered yes to these questions mentioned, then you are ready. But if not, consider doing review on these important basic skills. So, you are going to apply your skills in previous lesson. You'll have a review. This time, you are going to prepare your activity notebook and your pen for our short review. I want you to answer some equations as I flash in our screen. Solve as fast as you can. Okay. Answer this. 3 and 3 twelves plus 2 and 8 twelves. Then second rule. So your answer is, okay, very good. It's 5 and 11, 12. Okay, next equation. 20 and 3 fourths minus 18 and 2 sevenths. Then second rule. Time is up. So your answer is 2 and 13 over 28. Last. So you are going to add these three fractions. Time is up. Your answer? Very good. It's 5 and 1 and 5/18. I mean. So don't forget to write your score on top of your paper or your activity notebook. To sum up with our review, how do we add or subtract simple fractions? How do we add or subtract mixed numbers? John is thinking. To add or subtract fractions with the same denominators, add the numerators and copy the denominators. Okay, let's hear from Sammy. To add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators, rename the fraction using the LCD or the least common denominator. Then add or subtract and simplify the answer to lowest term if possible. And for Marie, to add and subtract mixed numbers, 1. Change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. 2. Follow the rules of adding and subtracting similar and dissimilar fractions. And lastly, add or subtract and simplify the answer to lowest term if possible. Well, that's very good. So if you apply addition and subtraction of fraction in word problems, how will you do it? What are the steps in solving word problems? These are the skills needed for you to answer the new lesson. So we have here the steps to solve a problem or a word problem. We're going to use the UPS check method. So U stands for understand. When you understand, it means you read the problem. Then you will know what am I looking for, or this is what is asked in the problem. And what do I know? These are the given facts. You need to know the given facts. Okay, then let's proceed to P. P is for plan. So when you plan, you have to choose a strategy. What are you going to do in order to solve the problem? So in this part here, you are going to identify the operation to be used, operation or operations to be used, and you are going to formulate the equation or what you call the mathematical sentence. Then the S stands for solve. So when you solve, you have to show all your work, show everything, every solution, and make sure that you are going to be careful on your computation. In math, one false move. So, make sure in every move you do, there always be a reason and purpose. And lastly, you have to check. So, I always tell this to my pupils that in every answer you have to justify. So you can explain and justify your answer. If your answer is reasonable, then it's correct. Get it? Okay, let's proceed. So here are what you should know about these types of problems. For routine, problems that come in steps that are controlled by algorithms or formulae, the process is smooth and the end is easy to project. Like you already have the direction and idea what will the answer be like. While non-routine are type of problem that requires creativity in solving. It may use a formula in an indirect manner or in combination with other formula, or at times no formula at all. In every important It is very important that the problem is well understood so you can develop your steps in solving it. So you have the freedom, your creative way, you can use your own strategy, you can use your own techniques as long as you are on the right track. It doesn't matter. Okay? It's a deal? Okay, deal. So now let's have a sample problem. Let's read this together so that we can understand. Macaria gathered 5½ dozens of eggs from her family poultry project on Thursday and 3¼ dozen eggs on Friday. How many dozens of eggs did she gather in 2 days? How many dozens of eggs did she gather on Thursday than on Friday? Did you get it? Did you understand the problem? So let's read it again, all together. Macaria gathered 5 and 1/2 dozens of eggs from her family poultry project on Thursday and 3 and 1/4 dozen eggs on Friday. How many dozens of eggs did she gather in 2 days? How many dozens of eggs did she gather on Thursday than on Friday? Did you get it? So this time, we are going to apply the abstract method. Let's start with you. Step 1, understand. So as I've said, in understand, you are going to n- name what you know or the given facts. So what are the given facts? You have 5 and 1/2 dozen of eggs gathered on Thursday and 3 and 1/4 dozen of eggs gathered on Friday. Correct? Yes. The next, what is or are asked in the problem? So in this problem, two is being asked. The first, the number of dozen of eggs of Macaria gathered in 2 days. And the other asked or question is the number of dozen of eggs on Thursday than on Friday. Take note ha, there are two asked in the problem. Okay, let's proceed to step 2. Plan. So in planning, you have to know what operations or operation you're going to use. So since there are two questions or unknown in that problem, you have two operations, the addition and the subtraction. Then you have to know your strategy. So what would be the number sentence? What equation you're going to use in order for you to solve the problem? So for the first question, the number of dozen of eggs of Macaria gathered in 2 days. So 2 days. So the possible or the correct number sentence would be 5 and 1/2 plus 3 and 1/4 equals n. So this is how you're going to formulate your mathematical sentence or number sentence or equation. Then for the second is the number of dozen of eggs on Thursday than on Friday. So you need to know the difference. So since you are asking for the difference of the number of dozen of eggs on Thursday than Friday, so of course you're going to do subtraction. So 5 and 1/2 minus 3 and 1/4 equals n. Okay, did you follow? So we will proceed to step 3. Solve. Again, children, please do very careful on your computation. Do not forget your knowledge or your skills in adding and subtraction similar, dissimilar, and mixed numbers because this is an application of your skills. So let's take the first asked. So, can you still recall the number sentence used with this? Okay, this is it. 5 and 1/2 plus 3 and 1/4 equals n. So, you are going to work for the whole number first. 5 plus 3 equals 8. So then, for fraction, this time I'm using cross multiplication method because the denominators are small value numbers. Remember, cross multiplication method is only applicable for small value number denominators. So I multiplied 1 and 4 plus the product of 1 and 2, and of course I multiplied the denominators. So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Then now, add 4 plus 2, that gives us 6. Copy the denominator. Is 6 simplified? Not yet. So, we're going to use the GCF by dividing that to both numerators and denominator. So, 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our final and simplified answer, take note that you have fraction 3/4 and a whole number 8. Okay, so our final and simplified answer is 3 and 3/4 dozens. Okay, let's have for number 2. The number of dozen of eggs on Thursday than on Friday. So let's take this number sentence. 5 and 1/2 minus 3 and 1/4. Okay, so again, let's work on the whole numbers. 5 minus 3 equals 2. Now for fractions, again, I'm using cross multiplication method. Here, 1 times 4, 1 times 2, that's minus na. Kaya minus naman eh. Okay, then multiply your denominator. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2, you have 2. Then 2 times 4, you have 8. So let's subtract. 4 minus 2, you have 2. Then copy the denominator. So 2 eighths. Okay, very good. They have common factors. So the GCF is 2, which will be divided to both numerators and denominator. So 2 divided by 2, that's 1. 8 divided by 2, it's 4. And of course, we have a whole number 2. Don't forget, so affects that the whole number and the fraction. So our final and simplified answer is 2 and 1/4 dozens. Okay, did you follow? So for checks, okay, so n for the first, this one, if you add that, that will come, so that's correct. They are equal. Then for the second, n is equals 2 and 1/4. So if you're going to subtract this, that is 2 and 1/4, and that would be equals to your n, which is 2 and 1/4. So since they are equal, our answers are correct. Okay, I hope you follow. Next problem. Let's read together. Kira worked 5/12 of the problem on her math test in the first hour. After the second hour, she had worked 9/12 of the problems. What fraction of the problems did she work in the second hour? Did you analyze the problem? So Kira worked 5/12 of the problem on her math test in the first hour. And after the second hour, she had worked 9/12 of the problem. Now the question, what part of the problem did she work in the second hour? Okay, so let's apply step 1. Understand. What are the given facts? You have 5/12 of the problem in the first hour. Then 9/12 of the problem she worked after second hour. Then they asked the fraction of the problem she worked in the second hour. Okay, then let's have B, plan. So you're going to know what operation or operations to be used. It is subtraction. And what would be the number sentence or strategy that you're going to apply? Okay, so you are going to subtract 9/12 and 5/12. Remember, Kira worked 5/12 on the first hour. And after 2 hours, she worked 9/12 of the problem. Then the ask is, what part of the problem did she answer on the second R. Okay, so let's going to use this number sentence to solve. Okay, we have here. What have you observed with the fractions? They are similar fractions. Very good. If they are similar fractions, we can perform subtraction directly. Directly, meaning we can directly subtract our numerators. But of course, we have just to copy the common denominator. So 9 minus 5, copy the common denominator, which is 12, equals 4 over 12. And since 4 and 12 is not simplified, and the GCF of 4 and 12 is 4, which will be divided to both numerator and denominator. 4 divided by 4, 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So our final and simplified answer is 1/3 of the problem. Did you follow? Are you getting excited for more problems? For you to practice and to evolve? Okay, we will proceed. Check. Of course, check this is equals to 1/3 and our answer is correct. So let's have another one here. So this time, you're just going to know or understand what is asked in the problem. Lenny needs to drink 8 1/3 glasses of water and 2 2/5 glasses of milk every day. How much fluid does she need to drink? Okay, so 8 1/3 glasses of water and 2 2/5 glasses of milk. And the question is, how much fluid does she need to drink? So what would be the possible operation you're going to use with this? And you know the given are 8 1/3 glasses water and 2 2/5 glasses. That's for milk. And what is being asked? It is the number of glasses of fluid that she needs to drink in a day. Very good. And the number sentence would be this one. Yes, the operation is addition. So 8 1/3 glasses for water, 2 2/5 glasses for milk. You add that together so that you will know the amount of fluid that she need to drink every day. So let's solve. Let's work on the whole numbers. 8 plus 2 is 10. Then let's proceed to our fraction. 1/3 2/5 still plus. So again, I am using cross multiplication method because they are dissimilar fractions and the denominators are small value. Oh, small value. So 1 times 5, 2 times 3, and 3 times 5. Did you follow? Okay, let's proceed. Here, 5, 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so this is 5 plus 6 is 11. Copy the denominator. And of course, you have whole number 10 here. Should be affixed here. So our answer is 10 and 11, 15 glasses of fluids. So, how do you find it? Exciting? Yes, exciting. Then it's very fun. So now, I have questions for you. What have you learned about solving routine and non-routine problems involving addition and or subtraction of fractions? What strategies did you use in solving routine and non-routine problems involving addition and or subtraction and fractions? How did you find it? So, mm-hmm. So you got answered all the questions mentioned. So I think you're ready with your activity time. So please do prepare your activity notebook and your pen. Okay. Take note for our 10-second rule. Okay, let's read together. Mrs. Casa bought two chickens for lunch. One weighed 2 and 1/4 kilogram and the other weighed 1 and 3/4 kilogram. Find the weight of the two chickens. Okay. So as we are going to apply our ups check method, let's start with you understand. So what are the given facts? You have 2 and 1/4 kilogram weight of one chicken and 1 and 3/4 kilogram weight of the other chicken. Then what is asked in the problem? The total weight of the two chickens. So total weight. So what would be the operation that you are thinking if we say total? Correct. That is addition. So in your plan, the operation would be addition because of the word total. That's the keyword. Then what would be the number sentence? Of course, the given will be added. So 2 and 1/4 plus 1 and 3/4. Okay, then let's solve. Using this equation, working on the whole numbers, 2 plus 1 is equals to 3. Let's work on the fractions. And they are similar fractions, so we can add the numerators directly. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Then copy the common denominator, which is 4. So you have the whole number 3, and our fractions, it sum up with 1. And you are going to add that together. So our final answer is 4 kilogram. Diba? Oh, it's magic. And let's check. So n is equals to 4 kilograms. The 2 and 1/4 added to 1 and 3/4 gives us 4. And n is also equals to 4. So our answer is correct. So let's proceed to the next. Mr. De Guzman bought 7.5 kilogram of meat. He used 2 and 3/4 kilogram for a fritada, 3 and 1/8 kilogram for menudo, and the rest for puchero. How many kilograms of meat did he use for puchero? Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to answer. Time is up. Okay, let's start with step 1. Understand. What is asked in the problem? It is the number of kilogram of meat did he use for puchero. What are the given facts? You have 7.5 kilogram of meat bought by Mr. De Guzman, 2 and 3/4 kilogram for a fritada, and 1 and 1/8 kilogram for menudo. Okay, the missing term there is the number of kilogram of meat that he used for puchero. Then let's plan. So what probably be the operation or operations? Okay, you have both addition and subtraction. And the number sentence or the strategy that you're going to use is this one. So the total kilogram Mr. De Guzman bought is 7 and 1/2. 2 and 3/4 is used, kilogram is used for a fritada, and 3 and 1/8 kilogram is used for menudo. Now remember, we are asked to give the number or the kilogram used in pochero. So the total meat bought by Mr. De Guzman minus with the meat used in afritada and the meat used in menudo. So let's proceed. Let's solve. Using the equation or the number sentence, take note. Okay, you've seen here parentheses. So parentheses signals that we are going to perform that first. Okay, let's perform this first. Let's add first the 2 and 3/4 and 3 and 1/8. This is used for afritada and this is used for menudo. Okay, here. So add the whole numbers. You have 2 plus 3 is 5. I am using the LCD. So the LCD is 8. 8 divided by 4, that is 2. Times 3, that's why I have 6 here. Then 8 divided by 8 is 1. Times 1, you have 1. Did you follow? Very good. I'm using the LCD. LCD. So you have whole number 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. And copy the denominator, which is 8. So this is the sum of the afritada and menudo. Okay, there you have it. So the sum is 5 and 7/8. Next, we are going to perform the second. So remember that is minus. It's minus. So 7 and 1/2. This is the total meat. And the total used is 5 and 7/8. So you are going to subtract this from the total meat. So this would be the equation. 7 and 1/2 minus 5 and 7/8. Okay, please do follow. Don't get lost. So we have here 7 and 1/2 minus 5 and 7/8. So here, let's use the LCD. 8 divided by 2, that's 4. Times 1, you have 4. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Times 7, it's 7. Now, can you subtract 7 from 4? You cannot. So remember our regrouping rule. So we have to borrow 1 from 7. The 1 that I borrowed, I use it as 8/8 because since the denominator is 8, so I just simply use 8/8 to represent 1 which I borrowed from 7. Did you follow? I hope so. Please do follow. Then now we're going to add. So remember 7, you borrowed 1 from 7. 7 becomes 6. Very good. So 4 plus 8 is 12. Then copy the common denominator. So this would be the new or the equivalent fraction of our 7 and 1/2. So now you are going to take this. Okay, here it is. 6 and 12 over 8 minus 5 and 7 eighths. So I work on the mixed form first. 6 minus 5, that's 1. 12 minus 7, and copy the common denominator, which is 8. So 12 minus 7 is 5, and 8. Copy the whole number, 1. So our final and simplified answer is 1 and 5/8 kilogram. See? It's very fun. They have so many things to do in order to enjoy math. Now, let's have this. This is the difference of two equation or number sentence. Okay. So previously, we used this equation. 7 and 1/2 minus quantity 2 and 2/3 plus 3 and 1/8 equals n. I have another way of solving or writing an equation involving the problem. Okay, let's take this. So since Mr. De Guzman bought 7.5 kilogram of meat in all, okay, I'm going to minus the 2 and 3/4 for apritada first. And of course, after I minus it, I'm going to minus again the 3 and 1/8 which is used for minudo. Equals n, the missing is the number of kilogram used for puchero. Okay, did you get it? I hope so. So, we have here parentheses. Parentheses. The first equation, this is B. These two fractions are grouped. Then the second equation or the number sentence, these two fractions are being grouped again. So another set of fractions that being grouped. So this what you call grouping symbols. In math, there are commonly used grouping symbols. You have the parentheses, which we are using now, then the these are the brackets. It should be two, paired, and the braces. And it will look like this. Okay, this would be the arrangement. The innermost must be the parentheses, followed by the brackets, and lastly for the braces. Okay. These are the three commonly used grouping symbols in mathematics, especially in elementaries. Now, these grouping symbols will signal us which to perform first. So meaning, kung unsay una natong i-add or i-subtract first. Okay. Now, let's check whether the two equations could arrive with the same answer. Okay, remember we are using this second equation. You have quantity 7 and 1/2 minus 2 and 3/4 minus 3 and 1/8 equals to n. Does it gives us the same answer? I hope so. So let's work first with this. We're going to subtract. Okay, here we are. Okay, so they are dissimilar fraction. In this time, I am using the improper fraction. Correct. Mixed form, I change this to improper fraction by how? Whole number times, denominator times the whole number plus the numerator. Then copy the denominator. Okay. Denominator 4, whole number 2, plus numerator 3. Okay, then denominator 4. So 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 you have 15. Copy denominator 2. Minus, don't get lost, that's minus. 4 times 2, it's 8. Plus 3, it's 11. Then copy the denominator 4. Take note, they are still dissimilar fractions. So I am using their GCF, which is 4. So 4 here. 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 15, you have 30. 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 11, you have 11. So now they are similar fractions. We can now perform subtraction. So 30 minus 11 is 19. Copy the common denominator, which is 4. So take note, our 19/4 is an improper fraction. So we need to change that back to mixed number. So 19 divided by 4, it gives us 4, and of course remainder 3, because look at 4 times 4 is 16 plus 3, that's 19. So we are on the right track. We are just renaming 19/4 into mixed form. We are not changing the value. Did you follow? I hope so. Okay, so the difference of these two is 4 and 3/4. Now we are going to work with the second. Remember, the difference of this is 4 and 3/4. So 4 and 3/4 minus 3 and 1/8. Okay, it's here. 4 and 3/4 minus 3 and 1/8. 1/8. Work on the whole number first. 4 minus 3, that is 1. Work on the fraction. 3/4 minus 1/8. LCD 8, LCD 8. 8 divided by 4, 2 times 3, you have 6. 8 divided by 8, that's 1. Times 1, it gives us 1. Follow? Correct. So, now they are similar fractions. So, let's subtract. 6 minus 1, it gives us 5. Copy the common denominator, which is 8. And take note, you have whole number 1. You are going to affix it here. So now our final and simplified answer is 1 and 5/8 kilogram. Oh, does it the same with the answer in our equation 1 or the number sentence 1? Let's check. I'm nervous. Oh, there you have it. So this is the equation 1. Can you still recall? And the answer is 1 and 5/8 kilogram. For our equation 2, we also have 1 and 5/8 kilogram. See, that's magic. That's what you call magic in math. As long as you are going to use your magic wand properly. Okay, don't throw your magic wand so that you can arrive with the correct answer. I think everybody deserves a clap. Claps, 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 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 claps. Very good. So do you have any questions? Did you understand the lesson well? Did you follow my discussion? Hopefully, and I'm always praying. So now, let's have for your assessment. So you are going to read and analyze each of the word problem. Use UPS check in solving the problem. Write your answers on your activity notebook and turn in to our Google Classroom. Follow? Okay. So, number one, I read the problem for you. Karen's father has 18 and 3/8 meter of nylon. He gives 10 and 5/9 meter of it for his friend's fishing rod. How long is the nylon string that is left? Okay, you know the keyword? Good. So you are going to solve that using our apps check method or strategy. Remember, in solving, you need to show all your work, every single detail in your work, so that I can identify or verify whether you understood the lesson or not. If you have questions, if you have queries, you know where to message me. And you are free to read or to watch the video presentation again for your mastery. Okay, let's have another. My mother bought 3 and 3/4 kilogram of beef, 2 and 3/5 kilogram of pork, and 5 and 1/2 kilogram of chicken. How many kilograms of meat did she buy in all? Okay. Does the keyword signals you already on what strategy you're going to use? Yes, very good. As sweet, as delicious as what's there in our screen. Can have the beef, the pork, and the chicken. So you are very, very much willing to answer because the prices awaits you. So for our additional activity, you are going to solve this problem using any method or strategy. You are free to do anything. What method or strategy or techniques that you are going to use in order to solve this problem. And you are going to turn also that in our Google Classroom so that I can verify whether you understand or not. Deal? Thank you. So I think it's over. It's done. So thank you very much. Until next lesson, keep safe and be blessed. Bye, kids.